Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Welcome
Let's
back,
go.
traders. How are we doing, guys? God
I
bless
wake up to a
each
little
and
bit of
every
drool.
single
I'ma
one of you
tell the
guys.
flag
We got
it's gonna be-
AMC making higher highs on the freaking volume profile as well as the price traders. The last 3 days have been absolutely cooking bears and freaking amazing, genuinely, right? Just honestly, 9%, 6%, 6%, right? You are absolutely killing the game on AMC, and I could not be more happy to cover for you guys. So make sure if you guys are new, hit the like button, slap the subscribe button, and hype this baby up. Let's jump straight into the due diligence because AMC has a lot, right? I specifically want to cover what is different about this AMC run compared to the other ones, right? So stay the full length of the video because it's very fascinating to me, genuinely, looking at the technical confluence that you're having in the run and looking at the previous squeezes on this stock. Something stands out as different. So we're going to cover that towards the end of the video, right? But I want to start here on the volume profile because you can see this thing freaking cooking up the tendies, dropping them in the deep fryer, seeing back-to-back-to-back higher volume days as you continue this rise higher. And we had some skepticism, seeing as though you may see resistance at 250, but you literally just smashed right through 250. Now you saw a little hesitation at that 245 mark, but you've now since seen 3 green closes above it since that bullish engulfing candlestick. You should be seeing Toy Story absolutely dominate the box office today. But the biggest story of it all, traders, is you're above the 9-day EMA. You're above the 200 and the 50. What does that mean? That means all momentum is to the skies right now, and you're literally only 19 pennies away, baby, from a daily golden cross. Now, I saw a silly goose on Twitter say the daily golden cross has already happened. They are wrong, and you're starting to see TradingView, right? You're starting to see people turn their head to look. AMC may flash golden cross soon, and this is just one of the biggest technical landmarks on the stock. Once you get this, traders, so many different people are going to be turning their heads to look at AMC and potentially strike along here. Now, what I'm watching for on the weekly time frame, traders, say it with me. What happens in the bull zone stays in the freaking bull zone. And what you're seeing here is you're about to take a little peeky weeky into the bull zone on the weekly time frame for the first time since all the way back in May of 2021, traders. The following candle was 116%, and the following one after that, 83.5%. Whew. And I'd be remiss to say that the last 2 times has not been the January and the June squeeze, because it has been, and that gets me so excited for the things to come, guys, because you're just now starting to see these things occur where you could see some kind of blow off top action. And although there's more healthy and sustainable ways to grow price action here, there's no more exciting than entering the weekly bull zone. You can see it's also a point of reflection, right? If you are showing weakness in the stock, this is where you would reject. And I think it's potential, right? When you look at these kinds of rejections, it happened back here. It also happened back here. That is when you're overall bearish in the stock. What are you right now? You're freaking bullish in the stock, although I could see a rejection if you come up here to this previous downsloping resistance, currently sitting at around 318 to 350. That is very, very possible, traders. But if you see momentum spiral above here, it's going to be really hard for it to be held down. It's going to be really, really hard. And I think the likelihood of it testing these horizontal channels at 566. Whoop. Come on, do the thing. That's good enough. 566. What is this exact wick? 710. And then 10 schmeckles. That's what you got drawn up on the freaking charts, guys. Those are your short-term price targets on AMC. If you see this thing begin to get a little squeezy, right, that is our best case scenario. If you see this thing take a peek into the bull zone and not stop there, it is possible because every time you look at AMC post 2020, guys, this is the retail hype-driven stocks, right? This is where shorts come to die. Realistically, right? And you can see very similar price action, just not stopping. When AMC runs, you see these parabolic endings. Typically, once you come into the bull zone on the weekly time frame. Now, you're also prone to very sharp rejections, 50%, right? So that's where I just say, preface this by saying, do your own due diligence. Be careful. The stock looks set up for something parabolic right now. But even if we get it, traders, there's very stark possibility that you see one of those rejection candles to then retest those important levels, right? 318, 250. And you've overall done something very, very bullish, which is bust back above this previous support trend that was resistance back here, right? This was your throwback retest on that ascending triangle. You had support at this all-time low at 238. You had support at this all-time low at 245, and then you lost it, right? And you retested it here and then rejected it. So overall, you're very, very bullish on the macro time frame. You're bullish on the short term, and you have a lot of technical indicators flashing here. As you're currently at 69.51 on the weekly RSI, this thing is mere moments away from doing something special, right? Now, I wanted to cover the quarterly time frame on AMC as well as Webull, because looking at the quarterly time frame on AMC, guys, we've talked about the quarterly MACD being the flip of momentum you need to push this thing to a breakout. And what are you getting, right? You're getting that quarterly MACD cross for the first time since 2021, traders. And if you close this quarter where you're at today, right, up 188.78%, it is likely, in my opinion, that you see this momentum carry on to the upside. That is not something that you can say very often on AMC, as you can see the quarter to quarter growth is not very good. But when you see these candles print, traders, you see massive movements to the upside. You see this thing go ballistic, freaking parabolic, right? Bananas. That is what you see from AMC. So I'm loving the price action engulfing the previous two quarterly candles, right? That's half a year of price action being eaten up by this one quarter, trader. That is bullish, right? And the more you zoom out, the more bullish I get. But let's jump into AMC, we've covered on the daily, looks freaking phenomenal. On the weekly time frame, though, traders, this has really got me jacked, right? So pay attention. You saw a 30% candle followed by a 20% candle. Now, what's so specific about this 20% candle is you've retested your low of 221 here, as well as wicked off of the 50-day EMA. That looks gorgeous to me for potential upside. You also close towards the highs of this candle going into a long weekend, traders. So going into a holiday weekend, you look phenomenal. You're closing towards the highs. It's the same exact thing that I was saying all the way back down here, right? If you close at the lows, you're likely to go lower. If you close at the highs, you're highly likely to go higher. And just like you have the golden cross on AMC, you also have a very indicative cross of the 9-day on the weekly time frame crossing through the 50, traders. I can go through the last couple times that you've had this happen because I love to look at the technical confluence of when you've had these crosses, but it's been a while, guys. It's been a long, long time since you've had this cross. The last time you had it was January 7th of 2022, officially rejecting you outside of this bullish pennant, right? You had that 9 cross of the 50 here, and you saw a 15% candle followed up by a 10, and then a 12, and then a 16% on the weekly, right? Yikes. And then the only other time that you saw it was off of this January squeeze going higher, right? And you saw that 277% candle. So you really only have an 100% practically a 50% downside swing and then a 277% upside swing. So you have a lot of very important indicators flashing on AMC saying that this thing is ready to do something special. And I truthfully could not be more grateful and more jacked that we're doing it. Right? I mean, we're doing it, and it's following every step of technical analysis along the way. So if you guys are finding this valuable so far, just please, it would mean a lot to me and the ape community. Slap the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's continue chugging along, right? On the 4-hour chart, you're seeing some very healthy price action of this stair-stepping higher and higher and higher. Now, you've seen another kind of wedge or channel formation break out here. The technical profit target off of that has not been reached yet. The technical profit target from that takes you up to about 312, guys. So that looks really good. In the short-term time frame, we thought that there was possibility that you would spill over here, but no siree, right? You're still trading to the upside, and on the 1-hour time frame, same thing, right? Same shmame. You're holding the 9-day on the 1 hour. The stock looks set up. It really, really does. So I'm excited on the short term. I'm excited on the long term. And likely, right, it's when we're most excited that this thing just potentially eats the dirt. But until it does, guys, right, you're posting higher monthly volume. And this month alone, up 63.5%, traders. Hard to back down and hard to say that this thing's bearish right now. It's likely, in my opinion, that you close above $3 in the month, which for me signals that this macro bottom is in, guys, which is the best case scenario on AMC. It's also avoiding our daily gap at 112 that we've talked about for quite some time. Even if you did come back and fill this, that would be very painful at this moment in time. I find it very unlikely. And I think the most likely thing that would happen is that you come back and retest potentially, right, the breakout off of this previous resistance, right? So even if you peel back here, even if you peel back inside and go for this golden cross, I think a higher low is due after touching this resistance at $3. Let's see. Let's cover the next part because the next part's very important, right? Why do I think that this run or this squeeze is potentially different on AMC? Well, I think that, guys, because you look at the stock, right? Look at how oversold you were. Look at the falling wedge setup, and then look at the fundamentals of the company, right? You're seeing earnings of positive EBITDA being posted. You're seeing short interest overall come down, right? That's something that we have not been able to say on AMC for quite some time. The short interest right now is floating right about 8 to 10% on the stock. If you look at the historical relevance of short interest, typically it's been about 20 to 18 to 15%. And at 8% is highly different, right? That's a new one for me. And we know, right, naked shorts exist. But how much of that can we quantify, right? How much of that is immeasurable? And right now what we're looking at is we're looking at the stock, right? We're looking at the charts. It looks freaking phenomenal, right? But when you look at the measurable short interest, you're sitting lower than you have in recent to ever, right? Recent history. And you're saying, are people switching their shorts to longs? Because that's what it really feels like. And you can back that up by institutional buying. You can back that up by insider buying as well. But I just find that fascinating to me that you're starting to see the short interest on AMC climb down as you see this momentum carry up. It's very indicative of a potential bottom being in, because what you would see otherwise is you would see shorts pile in, right? You would see shorts pile in at $3, but no one wants to touch this thing with a 5-foot pole, right? Nobody wants to jump in short here because AMC is absolutely cooking anyone who does. I think that is the best case scenario for AMC, seeing new highs and a potential swing higher outside of this macro downtrend, guys. I am so excited, genuinely, for everyone who's making money on this thing. And I believe the best is yet to come, and I believe it strongly on this stock, right? You have Toy Story. You have so many different blockbusters coming out recently, and the volume shows it, right? If you were ever in doubt about what AMC is about to do next, look at the volume. The volume tells the story, and the story is bullish, traders. The story is bullish. So I mean, it's exciting. I want to cover IWM, so don't step away, because IWM also is important to AMC, right? You look at the overall bullish trading on IWM. Now, we covered this yesterday, but you were within a falling broadening wedge that would take you into the $300 mark on this ETF. This is your small cap index, and oftentimes when this fails, you see AMC come down with it. Now, what you're seeing is you're seeing the IWM index outperform the overall market, or the S&P. So you're seeing small cap stocks outperform the blue chips, and you're seeing a breakout on the 1 hour chart of this ETF. That makes it highly likely to go make another all-time high, and to complete, traders, our long-term thesis on IWM, which was always to come up to this $300 mark and to begin to make these stocks squeeze, right? Above $300 is not just a technical landmark, but it's a psychological one as well. Anyone above 300, shorts get worried. People get worried about their freaking short trades, and it creates a level of price discovery that you have not seen in a very long time. Now, you do have this overall upsloping resistance, right? So it's likely you come up to that right around that 301 price target and then take a breather. You have multiple touches of bearish divergence, so there is an opportunity to see a bigger rejection here and a peel back to fill these gaps. That's the only thing that I can find bearish on this freaking thing at all, right? You have gaps at 252 as well as 264, traders. For the daily time frame, you close with a daily hammer candle, baby, which is overall bullish, and for me means you're going to open up Monday green. That does bode AMC well, and I'm just so freaking jacked, guys. I want to do lives. I want to do so many different things for you guys, but overall, traders, I am so happy that y'all are making money, and you couldn't spell it up any more beautiful than this, right? Up 200%, guys. 208% from the lows. And what's funny is we were talking about this all the way back here, right? November, December, all throughout here, we were saying you're going to see a bottom, you're going to see bullish divergence, and it's been a fun ride. It really has been a fun ride. So that's cheers to each and every single one of you guys. I think that's my video for AMC. I'm excited to jump into the box numbers for Toy Story. We'll cover the earnings for AMC coming up, and as well as we'll cover the fundamental news in the future. So if you guys are interested in that, right, slap the subscribe button, hit the like button, join the Discord. It is free for now. It will probably be a membership-driven Discord soon, just because I hate the bots that join it. But I really enjoy a lot of the conversation that we have in there. That's the entire reason I made it. It's trading, it's conversation, it's DD. So I hope you guys had a wonderful day so far. God bless you and your families, traders. And from the bottom of my heart, I want you guys to know, if you're taking anything away from this video, traders, just take away the fact that look at how close you are in the Golden Cross. And I truthfully believe that the best is yet to come. Let's go, guys. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Woo!